Many of us are aging guitar players. I'm 75. I don't know how old you are, but maybe you are like me, and I only have a slight problem with it, but like my friend Rich and some of my viewers on YouTube who've commented who said, gosh, I wish I could still play guitar, but the arthritis in my fingers and my wrists just keeps me from playing. And I feel badly that something someone loves they can no longer do. It does happen when we age. I understand that. But maybe there's some things we can do to extend our guitar playing life. Here are some things that I've read about that may help, may not. Maybe it's individual, who knows. One is compression gloves. The fingerless gloves, they make them out of mine are Dr. Frederick's original compression gloves made out of cotton. You know, they're really tight. Let me put this on here. You know, the fingertips are open so you can still type and do all those kinds of things. My friend Rich, he's the first person I saw wear these things. And I asked him, does that help your arthritis? And he goes, well, I don't know if it does or not, but he says, my hands are more comfortable when I wear them. So during the day when he's not working, he's just reading or watching TV or working on the computer, he wears his compression gloves and he says they do help. Some people use CBD oil. I have another friend, and he's been talking about it for, the last 6 or 7 years, and he has arthritis in his wrist, so it makes it difficult sometimes for him to play guitar. He says he just takes that CBD oil, rubs it in, waits a couple minutes, and it lessens the pain, limbers up his fingers, and he's able to play better. I've never tried it. I did try this because I saw this. I don't know where I saw it advertised. It's called Hemp Vana Ultra Strength Pain Relief Gel Arthritis Hemp. It's got a lot of menthol in it, so it has that wonderful open up your sinuses when you smell it. Goes on, feels very cool to the skin. I don't have bad arthritis. It's very minor, and it only flares up sometimes. Since my friend Rich has a bigger problem, I sent him a jar. I let him use it for a while. I said, Rich, does it help? He goes, I don't know. So maybe it does for some people. Sure smells nice. And your skin feels real cool, like you just walked into a freezer. The other thing is I watched a video yesterday by a guitar player and a guitar instructor named Ron Fenna, Fennah. Evidently, and I didn't know about him, but he was in a group called Buster, Buster. That was his first claim to fame. He's gone on to play with many famous people. He now has a YouTube channel where he teaches guitar. He also teaches in person wherever he lives. I can't remember where it is in England. He's very down-to-earth, low-key. The video I watched, it was based around things he wished he had been told and learned when he was young that he now knows because it would have helped him play better. And what he was talking about was, just like we're told when we're vocalists that we need to warm up our vocal before we go out on stage, limber it up is what we used to say. He says you need to do the same thing with your hands, since playing guitar is all about dexterity and strength and all that stuff. So what he recommends is just massaging the hands for 2 or 3 minutes, both hands, and then shaking them for probably 20 or 30 seconds. He said the other thing is extend your arm out, lock the elbow, put your hand flat like that, and then with a gentle pressure, pull back on each finger until it gets to where it won't come back any farther. Hold it and do each finger like that, both hands, and then shake those out and maybe do the massage thing. He says do that for 3 or 4 minutes before you play, and he says you will be amazed how much more limber your joints will be and your fingers will be, and you'll be able to play better. He said it's really, really good for people who have arthritis. So try that. Maybe it'll help you. The other thing, and the results are purely anecdotal, but I've heard it from so many people, I have to believe it, and I've been taking Shaklee vitamins since the 1970s when a friend of mine from college told me about them. And I learned that their alfalfa complex tablets help people with arthritis. And what kind of help do they get? Well, it makes them more limber. Does it take away the pain? Maybe a little bit. The woman who told me about it, when I knew her back in the 70s, she was the spry 50-some-odd-year-old. In the morning, she used to jump on one of those little trampoline exercise things. First person I ever saw do that or ever heard about doing that. And we were chatting one day, and she says, do you take the alfalfa? I said no, because she knew I had shoulder problems from surfing and lifting weights incorrectly. And I said, no. She goes, you need to. She says, what you don't know about me, but before I got into Shaklee, my fingers were kind of crimped over like this from arthritis. She said, someone told me I should take those. She said, I did for 2 or 3 months. Took one a day. She was from the one-a-day vitamin world like I was being a kid. And when she went back to talk to the person that had told her about it, she says, these don't work. He says, well, how many are you taking a day? She says, 1. He goes, my gosh, lady, you have to take 10 or 20 of them. Nature does not make high potency in small little packages. Pharmaceuticals do that, not nature. And this is basically just alfalfa with the cellulose fiber and the moisture taken out. You're left with a powder, and they just shape it into tablets, and that's what you get. Alfalfa roots go down about 15 feet. So they pull a lot of the nutrients up from way down below that normal plants don't, because their root systems are only 2 or 3 or 4 inches deep. In fact, many farmers use alfalfa as a fallow crop. When they've pretty much used up the nutrients from the same crop year after year, they'll plant alfalfa for a couple of years. Because the roots are so deep, pulls the nutrients up, they plow the alfalfa into the ground, and after a couple of years, the soil is ready again for whatever crop they were using before. What I have discovered from people who have taken this religiously, and it's helped me, helped my shoulders. I think it helps my arthritis. I just don't have much. I have a very little bit, flares up once in a while. But what they say is it does help. It takes away some of the pain, allows flexibility to come back a little bit. Everyone's different as to how much it helps. And again, it's not double-blind studies. It's all anecdotal, but I've heard it from enough people that I have to believe it. It does help my shoulders. When I run out of alfalfa and I can't order it for whatever reason or forget to, after a couple weeks, my shoulders will start to hurt and that wrist will start to bother me a little bit. So try that. It might help you. So you've got compression gloves, you've got CBD oil, you've got Hemvana or things like that, and you've got Shaklee alfalfa. And Shaklee is the #1 vitamin manufacturer in the organic category in the United States. So I would suggest using theirs because they do all kinds of research and make sure that their alfalfa is pure. If you don't know how to get it, you can always contact me and I'll help you. I am and have been associated with Shaklee since the 1970s. They call me a distributor. All that really means is I get my products at discount, and I'm allowed to sponsor someone if they want to buy their products at discount. Anyways, that's about it. So if you have arthritis, I hope some of these things may help you. They may not, but darn, it's worth a try. If it can extend your guitar playing life just a little bit, why not try it?